welcome to the 1% podcast, buddy. How we doing?
Thanks for having me on, mate. Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
How
Cool. Mate, honestly, I planned other people's out. I haven't even planned yours. I had loads of questions ready, so I just like fucking ball it from here.
We always wing it anyway.
Mate, it's the best way. So just fill me in, like, even for me, actually, I don't even know this. So who's Josh? From childhood, kind of like upbringing, were you a dickhead at school sort of thing? And then how did we get from where, like, a baby to where we are now?
Baby, Jesus Christ.
In about 2 minutes.
Yeah, my name's Josh. I'm an online coach. I'm 25 years old. Currently run a business called JDT alongside with my wife now, Jem. So we're kind of running it together now. Always been a sporty person. Some may say I was a bit of a dick at school. But I didn't think I was. Anyway, I've been an introvert and an extrovert sort of growing up, and kind of picked and chosen when to be each one, if that makes sense. So throughout like the day, I'd be like an introvert, keeping things to myself. Then as soon as I'd play sport, I'd be an extrovert because I was in my sort of comfort zone. So I played a lot of football, played a lot of rugby, which led me on to getting into the gym when I started playing rugby. Kind of like a lot of other people, really, you end up falling in love with the training aspect, like a lot of trainers tend to do when they transfer from sport. Fell in love with the training aspect, and yeah, we're here. That's a quick wrap up, but
yeah. No, it's good. No, it's good, man.
You said 2 minutes.
Because obviously the reason that the people that I'm bringing onto this are the people that I believe are taking that 1% forward every day, regardless of how shitty the day in the week might be. So, and I think your journey's a prime example, really. I remember, I think the first, I can't remember when we first really spoke. It was with Dan, wasn't it? It was through Dan stuff. Was that last year or not? Was it
March? Yeah, March. Yeah, March last year.
Yeah. So, and then I remember us doing, I think it was a live as well, and both of us were probably introverts to an extent, maybe. Well, more introverted than we are now, potentially. And it just goes to show how much that's evolved over time as well, coming out of our shell sort of thing and becoming the coaches and that we want to be sort of thing.
100%.
But what's the reason that kind of carried, like, we all have that initial fitness buzz, don't we? We're kind of like around that 20 years old, we go to the gym and things like that. What made you turn it into a career and things like that?
I think for me, it was because when I started training, I started putting on size pretty quickly. So I was obviously newbie gains coming into the industry, 16, 17, when you just start first training and you just, you're having like peanut butter shakes with double scoops of protein in. You go into KFC after the gym because you think it's got loads of protein in, it's going to help you out. So I kind of blew up like quite quickly because obviously I didn't know anything about calories back then. You just kind of listening to your mates, and people started asking me for help and advice, and it was bad advice when I was 16, 17, don't get me wrong, but I kind of fell in love with helping people, if that makes sense. Like, so when they were making progress in the gym, when they were putting even like an extra plate on their barbell bench press, just that aspect of helping people, I just fell in love with. And yeah, that's kind of what led me to where I am now. Still love helping people today. It's what drives me every single day. So that's the main aspect behind it, really.
Yeah, it's brilliant. What's been your goal throughout? Because you've kind of like, you've dabbled with the bodybuilding world, and then you've kind of dabbled with functional sort of thing. What are you enjoying right now, I guess we could say?
Honestly, I'm just doing anything.
Yeah,
I'm just having fun, mate. I'm just waking up every single day, and if I want to go for a walk, I'll go for a walk. If I want to go for a run, I'll go for a run. If I want to go back to a building styles type of training, I'll do that. I'm just having fun at the moment. I am going back to bodybuilding for like a 12-week cut because I want to get absolutely peeled before I leave the country and get in a hot climate. So I'm going to have like a spurt of that. And then after that, it will probably be back to this again, just enjoying it, just having fun, really, and just moving. That's the main purpose for me,
mate. And that's the thing that I feel like I spoke to a lot of actually coaches lately, and they've said the same thing. And it just goes to show that sometimes the shit you see online is not fucking real at all. Like, really not real. And even when I'm like even for me, like I'll coach, like I train bodybuilding, but in my programming, it's not all bodybuilding. I think that's what people misunderstand as well. Like the fact that actually you're just enjoying random training methods at the moment, and no, in a sense, no real structure. Like if you want to run, you want to run. But it just goes to show, like actually, the fundamental thing to get in shape is to do what the fuck you enjoy.
Yeah, that's it. It depends what the goal is as well. It's like I've got a client who hula hoops. She's got a weighted hula hoop and she hula hoops 3 times a week.
Fucking hell.
Bizarre. But
Yeah.
she loves it. She
Yeah.
loves it. She's in a deficit with her food. She's lost over a stone so far in like the first 4 or 5 weeks, I think we're in now. And she's
Yeah.
hula hooping. Like what
That's
other
fucking
like
crazy.
you don't hear of that, but she's moving. She's on
Yeah.
her feet. Do you know what I mean? She's moving her hips. She's having fun.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
I don't think I could even fucking do that. I don't think my hips work like that.
Oh, I can't do it. I'm terrible, but
It's really bad. We're gonna go buy a hula hoop. That's it. And next time we do this, we're just gonna be hula hooping back here.
Hula hooping on the podcast.
Yeah, that's insane. But that's literally it, man. And I think being a coach that can be that flexible says so much. I spoke to Lewis, like going for his classic physique, like bodybuilding pro card, and he's like, dude, like whatever people want to do, I'll program that. That's literally it. Whether that is a push-pull legs, whether that is bodybuilding, whether that is running, whatever that is, sort of style of just understanding what you're good at, but also having the flexibility as a coach to coach that is insane. So it's brilliant. So what's kind of like when clients first come towards you at the moment, what's kind of the big, I think maybe motivation right now with the world, but like what's kind of the struggles that are people coming to you with?
Yeah, I think the biggest struggles that for the people that I work with are the yo-yo dieters. So typically my niche are the people that have been to Slimming World like 4 or 5 times. They lose weight, they put it back on, lose weight, put it back on. Then they'll try like a fad diet, and it's educating them with their mindset to get across that you've treated your body like this for the last 5 years. It's not just going to correct itself over like a week or two. You might get a quick result, but you keep going back to square one. So that's the biggest thing for me, is just to educate these people that I work with specifically, just so we can create results that last forever. We don't want you going back to square one anymore. And I think that's become kind of my niche now that I tend to work with. But it's fun. That's why we see them. They have a lot of variety. They are eating the foods they enjoy, and because we're just putting them in a deficit, we're getting them to move, and we're slowly creating those habits. And it's fun. It's fun to watch.
But it just goes to show you, doesn't it? Because like me and you are very much like this. We're like, fuck anything that has the word diet in it. So, like Weight Watchers, all this sort of like keto, like anything, like Slimming World, all this sort of stuff. It's just the most unhealthy relationship and mindset you can build with food, in my opinion. And it's like, yeah, absolutely, like 100% it works, but it's not going to work for the rest of your life. And I think I'll always say, you'll say exactly the same. Our job as coaches is we don't want to work with you forever. Like realistically, we want to work for you a period of time to get you in a position where you can live the rest of your life fat-free, in shape, whatever it is. 100%. And I guarantee you ain't gonna be on a fucking diet. You're not gonna be juice plussing shit.
No.
And that's a big thing that still to this day, I'm like, how are diets, like the knowledge we have, how are they still around? It's
mental. It's like people come to me and I put them on a certain amount of calories, and they're like, oh, should I be on that? That seems like a lot of food. And it's like, just do it. And then after like the first week, they're like, oh, I've lost this. Yeah, because you're in a deficit. You're just not in a huge deficit like you have been previously when you've tried those diets. Because guess what? You didn't feel hungry this week. You enjoyed it. You had fun. You moved and you lost weight.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what we want. That's exactly what we want. And that's what these fad diets do. You get in, you get a quick result because they put you in such a big deficit.
Yeah.
And someone that is treated their body for like that for a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, that long amount of time, that those habits and that organization, that process isn't going to change for them like overnight. It's going to take time. So it has to be a slower process for someone that I tend to work with.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, because you've typically got mainly like photo shooting, bodybuilding clients, haven't you? So I don't know what it's like for yourself, but for me, I definitely recommend a slower process, a really slow process.
Slow is always best.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you is. When everyone comes in with a fast approach, that means mindset's not in the right position, in my opinion. If someone goes in, how can I do this as quickly as possible? How can I get in photo shoot condition as quickly as possible, regardless of where you are? How can I step on, even people that, because bodybuilding's become fashionable. Everything's fashionable right now. Right, I want to get on stage. I'm like, do you really understand how fucking grim it is?
I know.
Like, and also as well, like, you want to do a show at the end of this year, but you need to build more muscle. Dropping body fat is going to take you 6 months to get you in a good, like, people don't understand how long things take on the grand scheme of things. We've said this before, like, how long, okay, so what was it, like Tesla, for example, or Facebook, any of these big companies have probably really exploded over the last 4 or 5 years, but they've been around for probably 15 to 20 years. Amazon, prime example, started in what, 1990, and turned into only to £1 trillion company 2 years ago.
He's all right though. He's all right.
Yeah. But then no one sees that graft in between. Only everyone sees, like, no one sees Amazon in a shed for the first 10 years. They only see like, oh, how did you build £1 trillion company? I'm like, like over 20 years more. That's it. And it comes down to the body as well, like hugely. Like if you've been overweight for 2 years, 4 weeks ain't gonna do anything. I think, is it, like, you probably know this better than I do. I think is it 66 days to change a habit or to build a new habit or something like that?
I don't believe in those timestamps. I think it's completely dependent on the person.
Yeah.
For example, if the longer you've been treating your body in a certain way, I think the longer it's going to take for those new habits to be created.
That's very true. Yeah.
For example, if you've been like treating your body in a certain way for 10 years, it's going to take you a lot longer to create those different and new habits than someone that's been treating their body in that same way for a year.
Yeah, it's true.
So I think it's very dependent on the person. I know there's like, at one time it was like 21 days, wasn't it, to create a habit? That was like the quote. And then, I've heard 66, but it's all dependent from my experience. Do you
know what? There's a part. Yeah, I fully agree with that as well, because some things are easier to change. If someone said to us, do a new habit, I'd be like, okay, cool, I need to change this, but probably in a week's time, for maybe me or you, we could have a new habit in place, quite simple, by just manipulating our daily routine and things like that. Very simple. But do you know what? I don't think anyone said that. That's actually a really good point, a really valid point. I think when people say 66 days or 21 days, I think this is where scientists have gone, this is how long it takes for neural pathways to reset or you to produce new neural pathways or something like that. That's probably what it's going to be.
It'll be like an average or something.
Yeah.
It'll be an average. Yeah.
The best thing on your stories yesterday was the doctor thing.
Oh my God.
I literally had the same thing, bro, but like completely the reverse. It was insane. Yeah. So the doctor to cut carbs, right?
Yeah, a doctor told my client that she needs to be cutting carbs after we've already lost over a stone. It's the same client, actually, the hula hooper. Yeah, so she's been making fantastic progress, and the doctor tried to intervene and give her some advice, some diet advice, after she'd mentioned that, she's been losing weight, she's been doing really well. And he said, you need to start cutting carbs. And I just had a little bit of a rant on my story and just said, you stick to your job, I'll stick to mine, because I'm not being funny. I'm not going to stand next to you on a operating table and start giving you advice, because you know more than me in that subject. So the problem is people listen to the doctor.
Oh man, yeah.
Like they take what their doctor says is like the holy grail. And 9 times out of 10, they probably are right with what they're saying if you go into them with a particular problem or medical condition, injury, etc. But I found, especially with nutrition, even like doctors, the government we've seen at the moment, they just haven't got a fucking clue. Sorry, can I swear on this podcast?
Do whatever the fuck you want, mate.
They haven't got a fucking clue what they're talking about. And it's But we're trying to educate our clients in actual fact, we need these people, these highly educated people to be educated too when it comes to nutrition and training, because they ain't got a clue. In the general public are listening to these people because that's what's been drilled into them. What's happened with your
I'm
situation?
exactly the same, but complete reverse. So one of my clients had the COVID jab, written off, like fully written off, fever, things like that, for a good couple of days. I think he's still feeling a bit rough. His doctor told him to carb load. I'm
Wow.
like, what are you carb loading for? To sit on the sofa and be have a fever and a headache?
Could you
I
feel
was,
a bit ill?
fuck knows. But I was like, people understand the concept of this. Like, if we break it down from a training point of view, normally we have higher carbohydrates on a training day because that's when we're doing more. Carbohydrates are our petrol, they're our fuel that just drive our car. So we want to have more fuel for that day. So when a doctor tells you to have more carbohydrates when all you're going to do is sit on that fucking bed behind you and do nothing, so that's just what? Like,
Don't know what they're talking about.
no.
Don't get me wrong. Like I've had the first vaccine, and it knocked me for six for like 2 days straight. I felt so I couldn't even do my check-in photos to my coach. I said to him, I'm gonna have to wait to do my photos because I couldn't tense up. I didn't have. It's affected people in different ways, but like I kid you not,
Everyone I've spoke to has been wrecked. And then as soon as I speak to my mum, who's over 60, fine. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's strange. I couldn't even roll. Do you know in bed, like when you move in positions?
Yeah.
I felt like a 90-year-old man, mate. I was like, ugh. I'm trying to roll over. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
I'm really not looking forward to it, man. Because they're gonna have it when we travel, I'm assuming. So
That's the only reason I have it. Like, obviously, my bags are packed. I'm ready to go. So I've literally just had this vaccine so I can leave. And as soon as I can leave, I'm out of here.
do you have to have two now? I don't know what the rules are because I don't even know what's going on over there.
Honestly, I think throughout this whole process, I've just been one confused dude, to be honest. It's like 7, 8 months in to the whole pandemic. Oh, we're going to shut borders. It took us 6 months for us to start wearing masks. Oh, you need to start wearing masks. Yeah, but it was 6 months in. Like, shouldn't you have done these things a little bit sooner if we're going to implement them? And now it's like, oh, we're going to keep the borders shut now. Like, we're not going to let people in. Well, it's too late.
It's a year late, bro. Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Yeah, the newest thing anyway is we've got to have vaccinated passports in order to step foot in a pub. So you've got to have a vaccinated passport to go into a pub. That's the newest thing anyway.
Like, I swear to God, no other country in the world is like that.
It's strange. It's strange. It's like I said, because I've got like a WhatsApp chat with the lads, some of my friends, and we were just saying, what do you need a passport for the pub for? What is there going to be like a conveyor belt in the pub and a WH Smith's fucking put in there? Like the pub, like you're not traveling or going to another country.
What?
Maybe it's some form of like identification or something like that.
Who's going to enforce that? What, the fucking landlord? He doesn't give a monkeys.
This country's just opened my eyes during the way that they've handled everything. It's just been weird. As you know, you've left.
Yeah, that's it, man. Like, it's just like we could talk about it for ages, but it just doesn't make sense. Like some of that stuff, none of it, of course, none of it makes sense. But it's nuts. Anyway, we can keep it on topic slightly, but I think we can dabble into this lockdown. I know that it's affected you harder than it's probably thought it would as well. And I know this lockdown has affected, I'm going to say everyone, way harder.
Yeah.
So how have you felt, and how do you think even clients is? Because as a coach, it's, man, I know how fucking hard it is when all you're getting is messages saying like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't, like, generally. And you're like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
So how have you felt, and how's your team feeling as well?
It's hard. I think the hardest thing is because like we were ready and we were talking about leaving the UK back in September.
Yeah.
So it just feels like a massively delayed process, and we haven't got an end date for it, if that makes sense. But I think with this last lockdown, because we had a lockdown and then we opened up for Christmas, so they gave us some form of normality again, seeing family and friends. And then as soon as we had that period off, they shut us down again. And I think that affected myself, and I think it affected a lot of people, because in my eyes, it's just like, well, it's not that serious then. If you can just open up to give people Christmas together,
Yeah.
it's not that serious then. And I think that's affected a lot of my clients and the people that I speak to, because it's this third and final, well, hopefully final lockdown is kind of been, I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's been one of those, like, I don't know why I'm stuck at home. Like, nothing makes sense anymore.
Yeah. I think with the
And
first two, they kind of made sense. The first one, we were like, is this fucking happening in the world? And then
yeah,
we're like, oh shit, it seems legit. Like, this is real. Second one made sense, break it up for Christmas. I was like, yeah, I'll follow that rule. Makes sense. And then, but I was the same, like, man, it was a grim Christmas, wasn't it? Like, I just had me and my mum, and like, I was with a client, and we were just driving to like Brighton to go to the gym on Christmas Day. We knew it was the end.
yeah,
It was just for Christmas that I think was very forced by all of us. That were like, yeah, we're gonna have a great time, but inside it was miserable.
mm,
Um, but
yeah,
I feel for everyone, like, because
yeah.
it's just the fact that you're like, it's that lost hope almost. You're like, I think we had so much hope, like, over the last year even, and this happens, and you're like, why is this happening to us? Like, what? Like, why?
Yeah, it's just, and it's like I put some stats on my social media as well. I mean, so before lockdown one, before we went into any form of lockdown tier system or whatever they did, there was only a 5% chance of people just going about their normal day actually catching it. And then out of those 5%, it was only the vulnerable that would be harmed by it. So you would think, after a whole year of multiple lockdowns, tier systems, even the first vaccinated jab, which improves your, so stops you from getting COVID by 80% on top of that. Like, we're talking minuscule percentages of even catching it now.
Yeah,
Like, but never mind actually getting like affected by it. There's more chance of you catching the flu.
yeah,
7% chance of you catching the flu. 28% of the UK are obese, and it's going to be more than that when the figures come out after lockdown.
yeah. That's that's the
Triple
sad thing.
suicides. Like, there's more things to be concerned about, and there were a lot more things that we were exposing ourselves to that were more harmful than COVID.
I think
But we've got locked ourselves down because of it.
I think those two facts, you've nailed it on the head, and we can kind of bring it back into our industries. Really, is that mental health and the obesity side of things. Like,
Mm.
I I think most of my clients are female based, and I'm very happy to be very open with clients and talk about emotions. And there's some things that they've told me, and I'm like, fucking hell, like, we are struggling, aren't we? Like, really struggling.
Yeah,
Um, and I think mental health is one of the, especially for men. I think we can talk about this because I think um, men always feel like they need to be that macho and things like that, and like, "Oh, I'm tough on the outside." Honestly, like, the reason I left is because I'm not strong in that side of things. I'm very weak, and if I had to do this lockdown, in my opinion, man, I don't even want to think about the state I would have been in. I would have
yeah,
got through it, of course, but I would dread to think of what it would have done to me longer term, in a sense.
yeah,
Um, and I think, man, it's crazy what's going on with. I think as a coach yourself, I've dealt with more. Not even worried about training and nutrition right now. Over the last year, I've been literally more of a mindset coach than anything else over this time period. You can relate as well.
100%. And that's what a lot of people don't realize, when you've got so many people that are relying on your support when they're going through those bad days, those tough times. You need, like, as a coach, like, we're dealing with so many people. We get to a point where we need someone just looking after us. And honestly, like, having yourself there, having my wife there, having my coach there, and having these good people around you, because we've got our little group as well. it means so much more to people than you realize. I've had days, I'm not gonna, I'm miserable most days while I'm here because I'm sat in my office with my bags packed. I've sat here sometimes just kind of sat back and just had a few tears because I'm just so ready to just get out of here. It's normal. It is important that we speak about it, but your support network. I don't think has ever been more important than it is now. It's like my coach like jumped on a call with me. He's like, if you need me, call me. Like don't message me anymore. Call me. And it will genuinely take the time out of his day just to speak to me because he understands that I'm looking after so many people, and every conversation is negative, 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 and it takes its toll. Like even if you wake up, right, I'm gonna be fucking positive today, but then you speak to like 10 negative people before 9 in the morning, you're like, it is hard to continue that positivity. It's hard. So if you can have that good support network around you and have those people there to speak to, it's so important. So important. The clients luckily don't have to worry about that because they've just got us.
Yeah, that's it. And do you know what though? It's like, yeah, I've been the same, but when you wake up and you've got 10, 20 messages of just like, I can't. Like literally, like I can't. I don't want to do it. I'm done. We're written off. Like, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, how the fuck can we get around this? Like, like this is where the self-doubt comes in. You're like, fuck, how am I going to coach you through this? How can we do this? But you know what? Like, we do it. We do rock up and we do it. And I think yourself as a coach, you can be very proud. The fact that you've got people out of this is phenomenal. And people are like, you probably had people message you saying like, dude, I wouldn't have done this without you, and things like that. And it is, I think that's when it hits home, and that's when you're like, tears can hit you then, because the emotional roller coaster there. I think a client just said it to me. I just put in a Facebook group. I was like, I was supposed to do a live, their first live on Wednesday night, just do educational stuff. Didn't send them the fucking time, did I? So I was like, I sat on Zoom waiting for everyone. I was like, what the fuck is everyone? And I didn't give them the time. And I literally just put the Facebook group, guys, I fucked up on a video. But just want to say, blah, 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 I'm super proud of you over this lockdown and things like that. And the amount of people then just said, like, couldn't have done it without you. You're like, fucking hell, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, you don't realize it when you just go in your day to day and you just ticking your boxes with your tasks, doing your check-ins, talking to people, amending plans, and being there. And then, yeah, when you get a good result out of someone, and then you get a message like that or a video testimonial, and you just sit back and listen to it, and this is what I say to people that inquire with me as well. It's like this is so much more than a physical transformation. Like you might come to me and say, I want to lose a stone. Okay, why do you want to lose a stone? Like, do you want to go and smash that job interview so you can finally get your dream job of like a lifetime so you can support your family a little bit more? Do you want to become bikini body confident instead of hiding away behind a towel on a beach that you were doing before? Do you want to finally keep the lights on when you have sex instead of keeping them off and staying under the covers and keeping everything dark so your partner doesn't see your body? Like, it's so much bigger than that. And when you can get someone that result, it's life coaching's life changing.
Yeah,
it is genuinely life changing, and for us to be a part of that, like on the front force of that, it's the best job in the world.
and do you know what's amazing is that we put our coaches through exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
that's the bizarre concept. It's just this vicious cycle. The amount of times that even when I was with Dan and stuff like that, even with Cam, like I felt a bit rough this week. The amount of times I've just messaged him and things like that, and he's just like, dude, it's cool, like let's just do this, let's do that. And you're like, fucking hell, I do this, like I get the same messages sort of thing. And it is just having that, like you say, environment and that circle. Like we started to click onto this. I think you're the same. I started to click onto this last year, how important it actually was to be around the right people. But I feel like only in the last, I would say last couple of months, man, really, how vital it really is.
Yeah.
And it is unbelievable. Like I was a prime example of like, I needed to get away, and I had to move abroad even. Like, did I have to? No, I didn't have to. But actually, did it force that change quicker? 100%.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Unbelievable. Like what the circle can do.
Agree. You have to be around the right people. I mean, I've said this openly. I've got certain family members that I purposely haven't spoke to throughout this whole lockdown because they're so negative.
Yeah.
Like I would just speak to my mum, oh, is so and so all right? Like just to check that they're okay. But I purposely won't speak to them
Yeah.
because they're so draining to be around. And they're like it's funny enough, they're the exact same people when I go for a prep that I just avoid
Yeah.
because they just make things harder than better.
Yeah.
And I find that with quite a lot. It might just be me just making the UK a big one general public, but I do find in the UK that people are just so negative about anything
Yeah.
and everything that you talk to them about. They just moan about the job, the weather, other people. Moan, 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 moan. It's one of the reasons why I'm leaving the UK too, because I want to be around people that are actually like being positive about things. I
Yeah.
want to be around people that love their job, that love the people they're around, love what they do. Like, I want to be around that
Yeah.
because I love what I do. And when you surround yourself by the people that hate what they do, they hate their life, they're
Yeah.
always moaning about it. It is hard to stay positive.
Yeah.
Never mind a lockdown.
Mate, and honestly, I think that's one of the biggest things that I've noticed coming out here. It's surprising how many people. Do you know what's funny? So I fucked up on a hack squat. I was like, yeah, I can do this. Sat on my ass, and honestly, 2 people came over to try and help me, and I was like, I'm safe. But I feel like that was like, even when I was doing like shoulder press today, someone came over to like even spot me. I'm like, no
Yeah.
one, no, I can't even count the amount of times that happened in the UK.
I've had laughs when I've failed on a hack squat.
Oh really? Fucking hell.
Someone's laughed, and it's just like, I got 5 plates on here. What are you laughing at?
Yeah, yeah.
Failing's good.
But it just goes to show, doesn't it? I don't know. I think it's just a culture thing over years where it's kind of just, I'm not saying individuals are completely negative. I think it's just a lot of time it's when the culture comes together and it is just like, you can turn on the news. It's never positive. It's probably not positive anywhere. But sometimes that's why I think like America's nice because yes, people, oh, they're fake. But I'm like, do you know what? I'd rather than be a bit fake and force a smile than actually be like, oh, like this is fucking shit. I'm like, God, I didn't really need to know that. Like far out,
Yeah.
like, sort
I
of thing.
think I think it clicked for me when I bought my new car, because I got sucked into those like material goals, and like deep down I know it wasn't really me, but I bought a new car, and as soon as I bought it, I wasn't as happy as I should have been, and it kind of clicked for me like this these things don't make me happy, but everyone around me is like saying, oh wow, nice car, like fantastic, like you've done really well, I'm proud of you. I got all of this, and in my head I was just like, proud of what?
Yeah,
It's a car. And it clicked for me like a lot of the UK are like that. They are in that blueprint of life where it's buy a car, have nice clothes, buy a house, have kids, get married, etc. And I think a lot of the UK kind of cling on to those material things to keep them happy. Like that's what they're working for, that's what they're working towards, and
yeah,
that's the only thing that they have in their life. It's like the people that look forward to Friday and dread Monday.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but why?
yeah,
Like what? So you're going to work all week. You're probably going to be hungover Sunday as well. A
yeah.
lot of them are. So you've probably got 1 day out of 7 where you're actually happy.
It's amazing how a hangover is better than working.
Oh, it starts to click a little bit. Like the more that you can take a step back in life and start having a look. And honestly, mate, I'll be so happy just riding my skateboard in Australia with a nice coffee down the beach.
Yeah,
I don't need a car. Like, just give me a nice iced coffee, bit of sun, give me a skateboard again.
yeah.
Probably fall off a few times because it's been a few years, but it's the simple. I think the simple things. Just it's like the poorest countries always seem the happiest, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I remember I did that. I went to Uganda and I was there for just kayaking. We were out there. And we went to like this a charity that kind of helps educate kids and adults about, it was pretty much a lot of it was about like how to use mosquito nets and put a condom on, like sexual health sort of stuff. And I was like, mate, honestly, these kids were using a mosquito net as a football goal.
Yeah.
And I was like, in my head, I was like, I've literally just taught, like, you just had an educational system on like why you should do it. And like, yeah, but we can play football. I'm like, mate, fucking good job. Let's play football, sort of thing. And it is the same sort of thing, man. It is just like simplicity in life is so nice.
Yeah.
Like when you can just wake up and be like, actually, I don't have much, but it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Like, it's like more shit you have, more shit to worry about. And
Exactly.
the thing is for you as well, like you did have my fucking dream car. It was a nice car as well. But it goes to show you like success, what people want to see, or success up here is literally you've proven the point that it's fucking bollocks. Success is happiness, regardless if that is £1 million or £10.
Yeah. That's it. It's like it's the UK. I'm giving my dad that car.
Sick.
I'm just giving it him.
Just add on an extra like £100 a month.
he's so buzzing because he doesn't look at life the same way as probably I do. Like he's still in that, and he probably always will be in the like the house, the cars, the material things that makes him happy.
Yeah.
So to see him happy, then that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And like you say, it's like happiness for any other people's different. If you want to, like for me, like I couldn't think of anything worse than buying a Rolex or a watch.
Nah.
And things like that, or like things like that. But fucking give me 20 grand to go get tattoos. I'll cover myself top to bottom.
Yeah.
That's how I'll waste my. Do you know what I mean? We all want to put our money or whatever, our success into different areas, and that's absolutely fine. If that makes you happy, then who are we to judge? That's all you want to do, 100%. It's the same thing. Someone said to me the other day, "Oh, how many tattoos have you got? And how much you spend?" I was like, "Bro, don't know how many tattoos you got. Probably don't know how much I spent either."
I'm finishing mine soon, to be honest.
Are you?
I started my sleeve and I've not touched it for 5 years.
You know, what have you got so far?
Oh, it's random shit, to be honest.
Yeah, but I've got
that's the time that I was born.
Yeah.
Got random because the idea I was going to have like a woman with her eyes closed and then a woman with her eyes open at the top.
Yeah.
Kind of represent heaven and hell type thing.
Yeah.
But then the older you get, like you have these ideas when I started it, and then the older I get, I'm just like, they're just fucking random, aren't they? I don't mean anything. You just like the look.
Hey, we've actually got really similar tattoos. How creepy is that? So you've got the woman. I've got that dead woman as well. Where's she gone? There.
Yeah.
I've got her as well, and I got the wing. I got the wing as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got a clock on my hand. So that's it. But it is though. I think tattoos are a prime example. People are like, oh, like how'd you do it? I'm like, dude, I went on Pinterest and I picked them, and I was like, let's do that.
That's it. I'll probably finish my sleeve, and I'll probably get like a half a leg sleeve. Like I like the Mandela Japanese style things.
Yeah.
But I'll probably get that, and that'll probably be it.
Mate, do you know what this is? Obviously, you're going to Oz as well. Then you can get some. They've got fucking good tattoos. Then go to Bali and get some of it done with the.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty sick as well.
They'll let us in, Oz, mate. We're still, because the borders are shut, and they don't know when they're opening up.
Yeah.
So, like the migration agency has literally just said to me, "We don't know anything. We'll just keep you in the loop as soon as we know."
Yeah.
So we just said, as soon as we've had our second vaccine and we've had them both, got the vaccinated passport, and we can go, we're just gonna go anywhere, to be honest, to start with.
You know what's amazing as well, though? So like we were having this conversation about travel, and it just goes to show you how the UK isn't. They're not in lockdown. We all know that. People are running around doing what they want to do. B&Q and McDonald's have been open since day one, sort of thing. But it just goes to show you that actually, like, dude, like, you can still get on a flight. People are like, I can't travel. I'm like, you fucking can. There's a flight there. Get it. Like, the only thing you have to do is just go for another 10-day holiday somewhere else. And then go back. Like, and in my head, I'm just like, well, just everyone's working remotely. So I'm just like, well, just stay wherever you are until you can go back.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of people that came out of here, like, even a few weeks ago, and they're just like, well, we're just going to stay till potentially they lift that line, or we're just going to go to Egypt, Turkey, I think Bahrain, or wherever it is. I'm like, fucking go for it. I'd love to go to Bahrain for a week. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, I think we've been looking Marbella. Yeah. If they let us in from the UK, but yeah, it's just, to be honest, yeah, it's, as long as I've got as long as I've got a good Wi-Fi, a good gym, good environment, I'm cool. I can do my job from anywhere.
Yeah, mate. No, it's the same thing, isn't it? It's exactly the same. But no, absolutely brilliant. How long have we been chatting shit for now? I don't even know. What does it say on this thing?
No idea.
No, it just says recording. Whatever. Oh, we jumped on at like what, quarter past or half past?
Half past, I think.
Half past. So 45 minutes. That's not bad. It's pretty good.
All right, we can talk for hours, mate.
Hey, we could chat shit for hours, so it's fine. But kind of just to wrap it up a little bit, bud. So obviously, maybe just kind of give anybody that listens to this or watches this, what can someone do to take that 1% forward every day? Whether that's in their lifestyle, their fitness, whatever that is, just kind of something that you can execute today that's going to take you one step further forward tomorrow.
I think for a lot of people that get held back is they don't do anything. So they talk, they think, but they don't do anything. And it's like just taking that first step forward. Like if you've got a business idea, just do it. Like if you want to travel, don't. It's like my dad's the same. He's always wanted to travel. He's always wanted to be in other countries, and he always uses the excuse like, oh, he's got a mortgage and kids here. So, like, stop. I think my biggest advice is just stop using things that you think are barriers when they're really, really not, and just do it. Just whatever your goals are, whatever you want to do, just stop thinking and talking about it and just do it. Like even if you've got to get like a little bit of a loan out, like have belief in your future self that you can continue to pay that back. Like if you've got a business idea that you really believe in, just anyone can get access to a loan and just do it and start it and go. Like anything can be achieved. We're in a good day and age now. You're in Dubai, I'm in the UK, we're just jumping on a call having a chat. Couldn't do that 30, 40 years ago.
No.
So we're in a fantastic era, really, where you can literally achieve anything. I mean, we're coaching people from all over the world.
Yeah, man, it's fucking nuts.
Like it's crazy. Like there's so much opportunity, and so don't hold yourself back. I would say from pursuing these opportunities, and don't, because a lot of it is you're just drummed into yourself that you're scared by doing it, or you have these barriers and you can't do it. You can do anything in life if you want to.
Yeah.
You just got to do it.
Yeah, and it's a prime mate, you couldn't have said that any better. Like realistically, me or you we weren't like, were we planning on being full-time online coaches? Were we planning any of this shit? Dude, like no, fucking COVID hit, we didn't have a choice. And then we just thought, well, let's go for it.
Yeah.
If you said, oh, how was the last 10 months of COVID life? I'm like, it was incredible. Didn't plan anything. It just fucking happened. Yeah. Like, and I just executed. That's literally it. Like, I wasn't supposed to come out to Dubai till middle of February. And then I messaged my visa guy and he was like, I was like, dude, I'm going to come out at the beginning of January. He was like, shit. Okay. All right. We'll start the process now. And I was like, what am I waiting for? That's it. Same thing. Just go. Just get execute. Like you said, 100%.
Same with people that like come to us or are hesitant with coming to us as coaches. That are like, oh, I'm gonna start back when gyms open. Why? Start now. Yeah. Like that is one tiny variable to your process. So why are you waiting? You're so used to waiting. You're so used to moving the starting line forward and forward and forward. You never achieve anything. You never progress in anything. And your life will be exactly the same now as what it will be in 5-10 years time if you don't do something about it.
Yeah. No,
so I think that's the biggest takeaway I would say that I've learned this year. And yeah, COVID's been great for us.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's been well, it's a year to remember. Can you remember 2020? Of course I can. Cool. For all the good and all the bad. Do you know what I didn't know? Okay, so scrap this. I didn't know you had your nose done before we go.
Yeah.
When did you get? Sorry, you didn't used to have that, did you? Or have you always had that?
No, I was going to lie to you then and said I've always had it. No.
I saw your story and I was like, when's he got a fucking nose ring?
I had it when I was like 14, 15.
Yeah.
And I had to take it out when I started playing rugby.
Okay.
And it was back then, it wasn't really fashionable, but I was kind of like a bit of a skater.
Yeah.
So I mean, wore my Vans, my big baggy t-shirts and hoodies, and I was kind of in that sort of. I had the hair where you used to do that every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Look it like that, and I always liked it. And we were just in lockdown. I was like, well, I work for myself. Like I don't play rugby. I don't play contact sport anymore. I liked it, so I just ordered a £5 little press gun from Amazon.
Yeah.
Alcoholed it up a little bit. Bang. Yeah,
Sick.
job's a good one.
When did you actually do that? Was it like on the weekend?
No, it was like the middle of the day.
Oh, was it? When? Yesterday?
No. It was about 4 weeks ago now.
Oh, was it? Why have I not noticed it?
Do you know when you don't say something?
Yeah.
It takes people a while to be like, there's something different about this guy.
Yeah.
It's like if you had the rest of your arm like tattooed, right?
Yeah.
And like removed the cling film and just carried on about your normal day, didn't say a word. It'd take people like a few weeks to be like, something different about Brandon.
Yeah.
It's like when I did my last photo shoot prep and I'm going into my next one, I was like 6-7 weeks into the cut, and people are like, something.
Motherfucker looks lean.
What's happened? What's happened here?
It's like, what's going on?
What's happened here? It takes people a while to process it, doesn't it?
Yeah, so true. Yeah, to be fair. It's only when I saw your story, I think you must have been holding your phone, like maybe with a different hand or something like that. And I was like, what's on his face? That's it. But no, absolutely brilliant, man. Where can people find you? What's the best way to get hold of you?
Instagram, Facebook, email. I won't give you my contact number. But
I'll drop it. No,
okay. jdtraining.club is our website and that we coach people on. So primarily we've done like one-to-one coaching, pretty much like Brandon. But we're kind of wanting to venture out a lot more now and work with a lot more people. So we've introduced that Brandon's featured on very kindly. Our members area that we really want to blow up this year, because I think the way the business is going to go, I think one-to-one coaching won't be our game. It'll be more. It's weird how your niche changes as well. Sorry, before we go, like your niche always changes all the time. Like initially, it's like one-to-one coaching, you get into the game like everybody else does, and then the more people you start to work with, it's like I'm at a point now where I just want to educate people, because you're constantly saying the same thing. So I just want to educate more people that are like this. So I think for the people we work with, one-to-one coaching won't be the best sort of service for the people we work with. I think it will be the £12 a month that we charge for just educating people and getting people moving in that aspect. So yeah, that's where you can find me, and that's what we do.
Awesome, man. No, appreciate it. Thank you for your time. That's it. And we'll definitely jump on. Well, to be fair, we'll do anyone that's kind of like in Dubai, I'm doing like a video version. So we'll get the videographer in and doing the podcast that way. So the excuse is when you run away, we'll run away and we'll get a face-to-face one in. Finally. We've got to do a 15K challenge.
Oh shit. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we've got to do a 15K. We've got a lot of catching up to do. So maybe after your diet, then we'll do 15K.
We're going to be living together for a month at least.
Yes, yeah, we'll have 30 things to do then, easy. So every day we'll just have a tick list.
Looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it.
Hey, dialed. Cool. I love you and leave you, man. And I'll speak to you soon. Thank you for jumping on, buddy.
Awesome, mate. Take care.
See ya. Boom. Right, guys. Absolutely brilliant having Josh on. If anybody is starting back at the gym on April 12th or whenever the gyms are opening in your country, in your area, guys, you can head over to my website, brandonhepburn.com, or you can go to my Instagram at just Brandon Hepburn. And guys, I've got free training programs, diet plans, recipe books, everything there for you ready for when those gym doors do open. So please help yourself to those. Any questions, shoot me a message and I will see you soon. Just make sure, take that 1% forward every day. Have a good one.